Yeah, what was yours?
Okie doke. Welcome, folks. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for joining. This is not too loud. This is something that I put together last week just because it's about adding value where you can, and it's something that I've only really jumped into since about January. And it struck me when Arjun was talking about his first sale and a couple of others that aren't in the room now, but there's a lot of fresh faces that are coming in 1, 2 weeks and then going out. And this is a kind of ground level topic, which is paid advertising, paid digital ads. And I'm going to do a few of them if they land and if you're interested in it. The first one's on Meta, and it's more about just, hey, this is a new business that I've started running Meta ads for, that just talking about my boat licensing business. And here's some of the results. Take some of the fear factor away from it. There's a saying that from Friedrich Nietzsche that goes, they muddy the waters to make them seem deep. And I think that's just spot on when it comes to specifically meta ads, not so much Google ads, but definitely meta ads nowadays that you can get a really good, like basic meta ad product off the ground. Yeah, you can get a really good product off the ground with very little effort and you don't have to know a lot. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do meta ads and I'm going to share a little bit about my experience. Just before we do, can everyone just throw a hand up if you're currently using meta ads? Okay. Hands up if you've ever used meta ads. Okay, cool. Good to know. Cool, cool. All right, I'm going to share screen. Rock and roll. You guys got me there? Everyone got that presentation in front?
Mimi.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, thanks. That was cool. Let me just move this. I like to still look at some of you while I deliver, so I can just like get the occasional head nod and so forth. Yeah, that will work. Okay, cool. Okay, meta ads, service-based business use case. So I have a service-based business, boat and jet ski licensing. That matters. That really matters. It changes the game completely. If it's service-based and you deliver to an area, you're a plumber in Brisbane, there's no good running ads in Western Australia. So that matters. That the e-commerce model is completely different. This is service-based, but still broad brush. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about what meta ads are really briefly, how they work, and I'll build a campaign out. What are meta ads? Meta ads are targeted digital ads that help businesses reach their customer avatar on meta platforms. Targeted digital ads help businesses reach their customer avatar on meta platforms. So let's just explore some of those terms really briefly. Targeted, why are they targeted, Kane? They're targeted because you get to pick who you want to put them in front of. You get to pick. You get to pick for the most part. And you can adjust characteristics like the location of those ads, the age ranges from 18 to 65, some of the interests of the kinds of folks that you want the ads put in front of, and then their behaviors, what times of day they're using, what days of the week they're using, etc. If you only want your ads to run on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. till 10 a.m., you can do that with pretty good proximity. If you only want your ads to run in Logan South, that's going to be really hard, but it'll do a pretty good job of keeping it south side of Brisbane. They're phenomenal. They're really good. The targeting on meta ads now more than ever. So that's how they're targeted. Digital ads because they're digital. Okay, so I can't make a meta ads campaign for you guys tonight and then have it appear in Courier Mail next week. Doesn't work like that. It's only online. Okay. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And that's a gripe in the gaming world that I got my brother-in-law. It's a front you use when someone beats you in a game. You tell them to go and touch grass because it's as if they've not gone outside. They just played too much games. And that's just one of the puns that they use nowadays. It's online only. These ads are online only. They don't make their way into the physical world yet. Help businesses, they turn scrolls into sales. That sounds catchy and trite, but it's what it does. You just sit in there doom scrolling, or you're not doom scrolling, just scrolling, and you see something that you want because of the metapixel, something we'll talk about later on. They turn people's scrolls into your sales. Reach, phenomenal reach. Okay. If you want to reach 100,000 eyeballs in a day, you absolutely can do that. That's going to cost you, but you can do it. Wait up, my young fella's just calling out. Give me one sec.
And with the magic of editing, when he comes back, I'll be able to cut this out of the video. What I'm
You
just,
could,
huh?
I was gonna say, you could just, in this scenario, I'd usually just pause the recorder and yeah,
Oh, no,
anyways, back.
I'll edit it because I can see it in the script, but I was going to drop a link here to my chat with the 10-figure founder. It's in the chat. All right, go.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, 100K eyeballs in a day. It's going to cost you a lot to do that. The point is you can get your product or service in front of a lot of people really quickly with meta ads. Customer avatar, right place, right time. So if all the other stuff is done right and you happen to be up at 1 a.m. on a Wednesday, well, you can buy an AbKing Pro, okay, because that's what you wanted at 1 a.m. on a Wednesday. So right place, right time. Meta ads are pretty good at doing that. And last but not least, they're on meta platforms only, obviously. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. Some news outlets are starting to pick it up too, the big players, and games. So that game is Subway Surfers. That game gets absolutely railed with meta ads. It's not all games in the App Store, but a great many. Okay, we're going to brainstorm really quickly. Let's suppose you're a car mechanic. You don't want to be a car mechanic, so you start making socks because you like socks. You sample a few suppliers, you find one you like, you give them to a few friends, you get some feedback, you make some changes, you're happy with the socks, you got 3 styles, and your supplier's ready to ship, and you can do so in bulk. Let's go around the room. I don't want, not even 30 seconds. You got these socks, you like them, your friends like them, you want to sell them. How would you go about selling them? What would be the first thing you would do to move some of those socks? Avon, let's start with you.
I find people that like the movie Finding Nemo or Fish and just try to identify where that target market hangs out.
Nice. Find people like Fish, Nemo, identify where they are, sell them. Nice one, Luke.
Work out who your ideal client is.
Nice. Work out who your ideal client is and so on. That's good. Tom. Tom, how would you sell the socks,
So
mate?
same thing, mate. Just target market. Luke's saying the same, everyone's saying the same.
Just
Just
find the target market.
go straight for the source.
Nice. Ben, what about yourself?
Mate, I'd get family and friends and people that are close to wear them and point them out and show them under the work pants and things like that. Have a look at my new socks that I got from my brother, mate, champion. You can get them here, get some.
Awesome. Family
Word
and
of mouth.
friends. Local word of mouth. That's cool. Dave, what about yourself?
I'm more used to writing the terms and conditions and selling the socks, but I think everybody's covered anything I would have thought of, but I'm sure something will come up.
That's good. That's good. Thanks, mate. Tim?
Only thing I'd go is influencers, stick it in an Insta store and get an influencer to plug it.
Okay, awesome. Influencer. Nice. You're on.
I will see some friend and try to sell it to them first.
Who would you sell? Sorry, once more.
I will check with some friends and try to sell him first.
Nice. Sell your friends first. Okay, cool. Antoine?
Yeah, it's a mix of what has been said. I think work out the target market first, and then potentially use some influencer marketing, for example, that touch some kid like Disney and stuff like this, some Find Nemo fan or stuff like this. Yeah, maybe like this. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, mate. Harsh?
Yeah, okay. Similar to what the guys have said, try identify with my target market. So since we're talking in meta, maybe have a bunch of different campaigns with different target demographics and see what pings the most.
Nice. I like that. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Harsh. Ross, what about yourself? How are you selling the socks?
I'd be getting some videos from people and testimonials, particularly video testimonials, people wearing and videos of them wearing them in different places and stuff like that.
Nice. Okay. Testimonies vid. And Ron, for yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
I've had the benefit of sitting here dwelling on it for a bit, but if I was doing organic, then I'd be like all over viral videos, Pinterest, Insta influencers. If I was going to do big sale, I'd send my 3 samples off to potential distributors to have them as an import export or something, or get it into a chain store. If I was going to run ads, I would absolutely be running, yeah, maybe you do meta ads probably would be good. This is not a Google search product. This is a social media exploration product. So yeah, social ads would be the space for it, to just find people who like fun socks. I don't think there'd be sock groups, but I feel like some good ads targeting fun footwear would be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Did I miss anyone? I think that, oh, Arjun, sorry.
No, that's all good. I think I would sell it as similar to the guys as well. I think I would sell it as not the socks, as what the socks brings to them. So like the most comfortable socks ever kind of thing. And I would even put in like an exclusivity thing. By now, it runs out in 10 days kind of thing. So that kind of especially works pretty well with the meta ads predominantly with exclusivity.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Target market, family and friends, word of mouth, local influencers, testimonials, some videos and photos to boot. Distributors linking in with them, potentially moving them into a store, a chain store, and then selling the feeling, putting some exclusive stuff around it, 10-day sale, 1-day sale, and so forth.
One more, mate.
Yeah,
One
okay.
more. High-profile football teams sponsor them with socks.
Nice.
One other thing to add, research competitors.
Nice, okay. Sweet.
And I'd say if it is like the socks with the one toe, I'd be down on the beach selling them as glam socks. Glam up your thongs with some toe socks.
Croc socks.
Yeah.
Hey, Kane, if you want some additional socks, you can have my Garfield socks.
They've got an invisible quality too, Ross, which is really impressive. That's awesome, guys. Thanks so much for that. Again, most people would agree / conceded just now that it's important we find our target market. Now, again, not everything has a place on meta ads. It's not the be all and end all, but it's a pretty powerful platform, and it can find your target market really quick. With a few inputs, it can find your target market really quickly. That's one thing I think Meta does extremely well. So awesome little activity. How do they work? Let me just move you guys off the screen. How do they work? Really simple. Meta puts what you have in front of people who want it. Okay, that's all. It puts what you have in front of people who want it, and sometimes in front of people who don't. And then you pay more, and then you adjust, and then it's in front of people who want it again. There are 3 levels to a meta ad: campaign level, ad set level, and the ad level. This is literally as deep as I'm going to go. And then I'm just going to show you a meta campaign and we can talk about it, because I could probably do, I don't know, man, like a week's worth of shoots on this subject. And then we could bring, and potentially we'll bring Richard in to add some more depth and some more analysis. It's a really big beast to tackle, but you can start super simple like I've done and you can get some wicked good results. So this is the top line. There's 3 levels in a meta campaign, in a meta ads campaign, ad set, and then the ad. The campaign, you'll see when we go through it, there's only 6 objectives now. They've made it super, super simple. If you want to get sales, you go sales. If you want to get leads, you go leads, and so forth. The ad set is most of where you'll do the heavy lifting, putting in the people that you want, locations you want, times, and so forth. And then the ad creative will do most of the heavy lifting for you. And you can outsource a lot of that stuff too. But there's 3 levels. You create the campaign, you can have a bunch of ad sets in there that target different people at different times based on different interests and activities. And then your ad itself is what people actually see, the creative. Okay, so just do a last man check in the military before you leave anything ever. One of the practices that everyone in the team gets in the habit of doing is just checking that you're the last person out if you think you're the last person out. Okay, so we're going to just do a last man check on yourself before you go headlong into a meta ads campaign. Okay, a couple of things. There's heaps, but a couple. Is your product actually good? Don't sell shit. Is it actually a good product? Ask yourself that in earnest, or a service. Like, am I doing a pretty good job here? And provide reasons to suggest that you are. That isn't just you saying yes. Can you deliver it tomorrow or soon? Are you equipped for an increase in demand? Have you got your systems and processes tested? Can people contact you when they have questions? Have you got the budget, landing page, customer journey, etc., etc.? There's a bunch of things to do before you just load up a meta ads campaign, which we probably all know that, but it's just worth calling out. Don't jump straight in. I'm advocating for people to try it, but don't just go headlong into it. There's a bunch of other things you ought to check before you do that. I'm just going to show you what mine looks like live. Before I do, if you want to screenshot these two guys, these are awesome. I learnt pretty much everything I know about Google ads and meta ads off these two gents on YouTube. Ben Heath is a freak with Google ads. I think he's got the best Google ads agency in Britain. Pretty sure he does. He reckons it's one of the best in the world. He gives a lot of free stuff out on YouTube. Nick Theriot's really good, especially in the e-commerce space, but he's just really good in general about a whole bunch of things. Go for it, Arjun. Arjun, you got a hand up, mate. Go for it.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, mate, go.
In your previous slide where you showed that, if you go back one slide back, yeah, so like your initial point was you check target audience, but then with some of these questions, if you're just at the early stages of a product, like if you don't know if this product is what, if you don't know how much demand it is for this product, how would you answer some of these questions? For example, like with the socks question, if you don't know what the demand is, who the target audience is, would you even ask these questions before you go in?
Yeah, I would, mate. Only for the intention of the purpose of actually being able to get a sale. That's the only reason that I would ask these questions. If someone you use your pots, for example, someone wants to buy your pots, they see a wicked meta ad, they're like, dude, that's a mad pot. They click on it, and your website load speed's 3 seconds. Back, Google, scroll. It's too long. It takes too long to load your website. Or they click on your website and your landing page is all dodgy in desktop view or all spaced out. Your images are all frayed. No one's going to believe that. So only for the purpose of actually being able to get a sale. If you don't have payment gateway set up or there's a problem in your checkout, you can't get the sale anyway. You know what I mean? If there's something in your funnel that's going to prevent the sale, fix that first. But as soon as you've got like a bare bones product that you're happy with, yeah, I'd be going for it. The rest of yeah, go ahead.
I meant more in the procurement side. Like how much stock should I have before going into this? I wouldn't know how much demand it is. Do I start with 20 stocks, 100 stocks? Yeah,
Good
like
question.
how much investment do I put in before getting into this? I guess that's my question.
Yeah, great question. Way over my head. Not sure. I would say still don't let that stop you. I know a guy who ordered. I don't really know him. He ordered a bunch of gym shirts, a bunch of gym gear actually, as it turns out, and it's still sitting in his warehouse. It's a guy that I used to serve with, and he had a massive problem selling it all because he thought he had a really good product and basically just didn't prove it beforehand. So now he's moving it all up for cost. Man, dude, I don't really know to answer your question because I'm not really in the e-commerce space, but Nick Theriot would have a video on that, and maybe some people in this community would be able to chime in as well. I would ask you to just do so at the back end so I can knock this out. But don't let that stop you though. If you've got 5 pots and you want to try meta ads, dude, try it. As long as you can move those 5 pots out in a couple of days, yeah, go for it. If you sell 20 online, you don't have 20. You can do pre-orders on most e-commerce websites to be upfront with people and say you can pre-order. If you don't have any inventory, it's a bit dodgy going and selling it online. But if you've got some, don't be put off by it. That's a good problem to have, by the way, selling out.
So just really jumping in very quickly, Kane. A
Yeah.
good place to start may be Kickstarter for that, because at least it also give you an idea of the demand and a potential for kitting yourself up based on what the demand is. So that's not a bad place to start in that scenario. But don't want to derail the conversation.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair point. Arjun, anything else, mate? Just quickly on that.
No, that's it. Thank you, guys. That makes sense.
Yep. Good, such a good question. Love where your head's at. That one's above me. Let me show you guys. Oh. Okay, just do this. Have you still got my screen? Everyone's still on my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Sweet. Okay, cool. All right, so this is what your meta ads profile is going to look like. There's three preliminary steps I haven't covered. You're going to have to create a meta business profile. You link it to your Facebook or the business Facebook page or the business Instagram page, and then set up your pixel. There's a video that Nick Theriot does that shows you how to do that in about 3 minutes. So I'll skip that and assume you've gotten this far with your meta business profile. I'm going to go into this ad. This is the most recent one that I've been running. And we'll just go last 7 days, because the last 7 days have been rubbish. So you can see in no uncertain terms here that the last 7 days in this campaign, in this ad set with these two creatives, have made 5 website purchases, spent $450 total across this week, and then $90 per purchase. It's cost me $90 to procure a sale across this week. Now, I know, not using Meta Profile, using my website, that my average order value is $498. So it's still a really good return on ad spend, but it can be way sharper. For example, if we just run it across the month, you'd see it comes down to $54 here. So as opposed to 90, it's been a super slow week. We're still in the middle of winter. $54 per purchase is a really good 8.5x ROAS, 9x ROAS. It's really good. 34 purchases of $498 on this is a powerful number for this industry. It's pretty good. And you can see that data. You can see the demographics. You can see which platform, which is primarily Facebook, okay, and primarily mobile. Desktop only makes up a really small portion. $86 at the bottom there, $86 spent. Like this information is really important to inform what you do and how you target the people that you target. And then, they have longevity. This one I actually kicked off in sometime in March. And it lasts, man. March 9th, June, July. So this is like 4.5 months, you can see, and it's still punching out really good numbers. $66 cost per purchase, roughly a 9x ROAS. And that's been this ad copy here for the most part. Oh, actually, I'll do it in ad set level. This one here. Is everyone still with me so far? I've got no one on the face,
Yep.
so I'm just...
all good, mate.
Okay, sweet. I'm just running on audio because I'm not looking at your faces, which actually frustrates me. I probably should pull that up. Nonetheless, this is the ad creative level. So the ad creative is what you would make or have somebody make. And this is, as far as I can tell, the most important thing that when it comes to achieving your desired outcome with meta ads. The ad creative is make or break stuff. And it's definitely been the case in our business, but more importantly, it's backed by Nick Theriot, who's spent tens of millions on Facebook ads in his agency. He pushes home this ad creative more than anything else. You can see that I've spent a little bit of time making sure that it looks good across different channels. Where it's shown really matters. So it means that sometimes I actually make these ones in Canva because Canva's super easy to use. But it means that you have to go back in there and you have to adjust it. You have to go back in there. You have to make different sizes for these different areas where you want it to show: Instagram, Facebook, Reels, Stories, and so forth. But it comes up really good, really neat. It's got a punchy price there. It's got a discount. It's got the 5 big benefits, different ways that you can pay that are in Community Business Chamber is pretty cool, and then the brand as well. The second best performer is pretty close as well. It's got all the same stuff, just hasn't hit as hard. But again, I tested these to make sure that this one's really good, but it's not as good as the other one at the ad level. The ad creative is the most important thing, and then the primary text is secondary. So if you were going to make a campaign, I'm going to show you live just right here. Click create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are your 6 campaign objectives. Meta's made it super easy now. I've only had experience with leads and sales, but you can play with any of them. Sales is what I've done. This has only recently changed to in April. It Meta's made a lot more changes to the automation of this. There's a lot of manual things that you used to be able to do that you can't do anymore. So I've created a campaign. Let's just say I call it campaign 1. In the campaign level, all you're really doing is putting the budget in. You can put budget spending limits in. You can change for an A/B test, which I haven't actually done either. And again, the guys I've been following don't recommend doing A/B tests. Audience segment reporting I've not played with either because I capture a lot of it in my pixel. You put a daily budget in for the campaign. And if you use campaign budget strategy, or CBO, what they call, it allows this daily budget to be spread across all of your ads. So if you've got different ad creatives, which is a good idea, test different ad creatives, video, photo, different headlines and catch lines. This $25 will be spread across all of them. And depending on how well you've done your targeting, how much juice is in that pixel of yours, if it's matured a little bit, you should be able to know within about 72 hours which one's hitting. And you just turn off the creatives that aren't working and leave the ones on that are, and then you can start to double down on them. This would spend that $25 across the suite. You can turn them off in the level down below. But yeah, housing, employment, social issues, you have to declare that. Again, that's not for us. So I click next. Now we're in the ad set level. I tend to name this ad set according to how I target. So my location and what I'm looking for. But you can just call it ad set 1 just for now. You can pull them to your website, or you can pull them to an app, or you can tell them that you want messages. You can pull them to a lead generation form. I've just moved them all to the landing page on my website, and that's what a lot of people do, but there's heaps that you can do. The pixels, the conversation will do a whole nother knowledge transfer on the pixel, but that's effectively how Meta knows what people that I want to target, and it finds my avatar based on all of these inputs and all of these data through my ad channels. Cost per goal, I've never used that, and people don't tend to recommend using that. The attribution date allows the data to be carried over from 7 days to 30. I've just left it at 7 days. Again, you can put an end date in here. If you're not keeping tabs on it, you can put an end date in there and rock it out for 2 weeks. But I like to leave this open because I'm watching it every couple of days. Budget scheduling, I'm leaving that. You can schedule in increases if you want in here to put increases in the budget if this happens, or every 3 days increase the budget by X amount. I don't do that. I just keep tabs on it every couple of days. And then there's audience. So this is where you target your locations, and you can be super specific about your locations, or you can, if again in e-commerce you're looking at countries, I'm looking at cities. I'm looking at 20 miles around a few cities around the Sunshine Coast. Some people in e-commerce are looking at Australia, Canada, UK, US, New Zealand. But you can be hyper specific here in locations if you please, and you can save those audiences and just plug them in later. Placements, I'm using all of them. And I'm just going to click next so I can get over to ad set. And then I'll just say ad creative 1. You would add your page, which page you want it to be in, what Instagram account. And then if you've got a threads, you can manually upload, or you can Advantage Plus. Again, this is another conversation for another time, for another knowledge transfer. But if you were just going to run like one product, you could manually upload your single ad image down here. And then whatever it is, you would add in your product right there, and then come down here. I haven't added it in. Let's just say. All right, here's your text, your headline, your description. This primary text is the second most important thing. I think it's the second most important thing in meta ads. It goes unnoticed. It's the piece of text, it's above the actual creative that you can click see more or not on. And a lot of people I see a lot of garbage written in there. And Nick Theriot's a really big one, and same Ben Heath. He pushes for people to spend the time on the primary text, tell a bit of a story in there, catch them with a hook, obviously, and then tell a bit of a story in there, closing out with the details of your product. Headline sits right next to the book now button. Description sits right under it. And then your call to action depends on what you want. Book now for me. And once you've done all of those things, you can click publish, and it will take about 3 hours, 4 hours. It can take as much as 2 days. For 3 or 4 hours, you'll have your ad published, and it'll be live spending money. It's a good idea to publish for a day in advance. So just put it for midnight the day ahead is a good idea. Let me bring you guys back. Dude, I could whack on about this for ages. How do I?
Thanks, Kane. That was awesome.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, dude, I could smack on about this for ages. I just wanted to shoot something across the bow because I know there's a few dudes in here that are interested in meta ads. And yeah, we've spent 5 figures on meta ads now and had some amazing results. Google's pretty good too. I've got some similar results on Google, but meta ads has just been an absolute cracker for us. And if this is interesting, I know that was super broad. I wish we had more time and I'd like to dive a bit deeper in each of those. But if there's interest here, I'll just do one at a time, spread across the next 12 months, one thing at a time. Anyone got any questions for me?
Just a comment. I really liked the copy at the top of the headlights. I've never been around boats, but I wanted to make sure my family was safe and get it done the right way. I can't remember the exact words, but that was really well written. Like from a copywriting perspective, you're like right in the middle of the story and right on the voice of the customer. Very well done on that. And to your point before, pre-orders of what I put in the chat or back orders to say for Arjun, if you're going to do an order or if you're trying to sell a product, like it's really hard to educate a customer. We had a $40 e-com product and it would cost us $10 a unit to sell. And so we ended up selling like 10 a day, had a really good run on these ads. And then we kept pumping up the ads and pumping up the ad spend. And I think we must have scaled the ad too quickly because then it got poisoned the pool basically. And then it ended up costing like $100 per unit to sell a $40 item. So then we had to kill that as fast as we could. We were spending 10 grand a week.
Yeah, it's such a good point. They say 15% now. You can scale 15% of your ad per day without it relearning. Anything more than 15% and it relearns and it actually sometimes creates a whole new one. So like that ad's got heaps of social proof on Facebook. It's got one of them has 130 likes. People that I've serviced are like, hey, that was such a good course. Thanks, Kane. They've found the ad and commented on the ad. So when it's thrown in front of new people, they see all these people, the actual customers that have commented on it, and that social proof's invaluable. And you kill it if you scale it more than 15%.
Well, if you're going to scale your ads, you need a product or service that scales.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go deeper with you guys throughout the rest of the year. I can do more knowledge transfers on different parts. If you want me to, just give me a holler, man, and I can help you out with this stuff because you don't necessarily have to be paying agencies at the lower end when you're only spending a few grand. You can definitely do it yourself.
It's a yes from me. We are over by 15 minutes, but has anybody else got anything else they want to ask or comments they want to make? I'd definitely like to hear from Kane again. I think that was good. No, we're all good. Okay, we'll stop the recording.